Hey everyone, it's your boy Soupy, and I'm coming at you with a new Marvel Snap video. We're looking at a deck here today, High Evolutionary, and every time I look at it, I think of Kung Fu Panda for some reason. I think of the secret ingredient soup when the dad says, "There's nothing special about it, except you." And that really applies to High Evolutionary in my opinion. There's nothing really special about the deck. A lot of people think it's vanilla and boring, but there's a comfort to it for me that makes it very exciting. And I think, what if we took that secret ingredient soup that really didn't have a secret ingredient and we added a little spice? And I'm talking about Hope Summers, the new card that just came out. And we all know that High Evo appreciates extra energy, but what if we're able to leverage the fact that we can generate energy with Hope Summers' ability into different combos that we weren't able to before? One of my favorites that I discovered was playing Hope Summers in a 1-drop on turn 4, and then on turn 5 you'll have 6 energy. You save that 6 energy by passing, and then all of a sudden you can play Infinite and She-Hulk in the same turn on turn 6, not the normal turn 7 that you would expect. So I think that Hope really is a helpful card in this deck for generating extra energy, smoothing out things that were a little more awkward before, and it really does help in my opinion. So let's get into the card by card here. We have, of course, the Sunspot and the Misty Knight, two cards that you want in every single High Evolutionary deck. You have the Armor. I think the Armor could be a flex spot, really. You could play something like Shocker, but Shocker, every time I play it, doesn't really seem to land. It's, my 1-drops will be in the side of the hand, and Shocker's not really getting his ability. And, I would appreciate something a little more proactive. That's why Armor is the pick for me. You have the Magic, of course. For those that don't know, one of the classic combos of this deck is on turn 3 or 4, you'll play Magic. Turn 5, you'll play Leech. Turn 6, you pass. Hopefully with a Sunspot in play, that's the ideal scenario. And then on turn 7, because you absorb 6 energy, She-Hulk will be 0, and you can also play the Infinite because you didn't play anything that past turn. And then you can drop 30 power of stats to over 2 separate lanes, or in the same lane if you'd like. And sometimes that can be hard for your opponent to anticipate. You have Cyclops, of course, and one thing to note about Cyclops, if you're new to this deck, you really want to try to get it into a lane that has at least 2 units to get the maximum value off its power drain ability. Hope Summers, I think, needs a little more experimentation in terms of, I don't think she's completely explored in decks like this, but in my testing, she felt really good. Shang-Chi, I think, needs not that much explanation. It really is just there to chop down those that would challenge your Hulk and Infinite. High Evolutionary, funnily enough, is really the worst card to draw in this deck, in my opinion. The namesake of the deck is the worst. Who would have thought? But it's, if I could play a High Evo deck without including High Evo, as weird as that sounds, that's what I would do. You have Leech, and I know that people don't like this card, and I don't like this card really either, but it really does host combo decks that this Shenaut deck would struggle against. I was playing against a large pocket of Living Tribunal the other day, and Leech was very, very clutch in those moments. She-Hulk and Infinite, I explained those two. Hulk, I'd like to talk about. Everyone knows that has the ability applied with High Evo that it gains +2 every time you end the turn of unspent energy. And that's in the hand or on the board. And there are times when it does get bigger than the Infinite. So that is a card that you want to consider. Sometimes you can plan for your Hulk to be just as big, if not bigger than the Infinite. And that really speaks to the name of the game of this deck. It's like I said earlier, it's not super flashy, it's not super crazy, but there is a lot of planning that can go into this deck. A lot of planning in figuring out how you're going to invest the energy that you don't spend into larger power swings on the later turn. So with that being said, I'd like to show you a couple games where I leverage Hope Summers' ability into spending and banking the investment we have into a win. So don't be afraid to like, comment, subscribe. We're just going to jump into those games, and thank you for watching, everyone. I appreciate you. Starting off of a really strong hand. Unfortunately, we drew both our 1-drops, so no value off of Hell's Kitchen. Gonna start off with the Sunspot. Always love the Sunspot on turn 1. Extra energy is what we like, and high Evo, of course. Before the dawn of Red Hulk, we'll see how that changes things. Ooh, nice. Got our Hope Summers. So I'm going to put the Misty Knight into Cloning Vats. We'll pick up a copy of that for Hope. Should be pretty good. Opponent starts off with the Hood. Interesting. Well, the Demon in Cloning Vats is probably going to be pretty powerful for them, I'm assuming. Ooh, and a second Nico and a... Oh, and he plays a Black Knight. Okay. Okay, not a huge Death's Domain fan, but we do have armor in the deck. Armor and magic, so... And, you know, speak of the devil, there's armor. And, little decision here. Do I want to play Hope or Armor? I kind of want to do Armor so I can get the Misty Knight trigger, and then next turn maybe Hope Misty Knight. I think that'll probably be pretty strong. Maybe some kind of bounce deck from our opponent. Interesting how they didn't play anything when we know they have some extra ones in hand. Maybe they want to swarm the board later. Okay, so now we'll do Hope, Misty Knight. See what they do here. Sentry, okay. It's probably some Annihilus stuff coming down, potentially. And we can't fill this lane, unfortunately. That really sucks. Maybe just pass here. Yeah, so we get Infinite down. Yeah, so now we take that. Okay, and the She-Hulk is 0. You know, Hope really coming in clutch there, giving us some extra energy. So I'm thinking Infinite here. And they might not expect us to play for this, so I'm going to play She-Hulk here. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. I think that, yep, so he doesn't play for that one, and yes. Okay, so this game worked out for us. You know, Hope really coming through, supercharging, giving us a ton of extra energy, so that was nice. Enabling us to play the She-Hulk and the Infinite, so that was pretty good. Working as intended. Alright, on to the next one. Playing into another game here, starting off with one of my most anxiety-inducing locations, Danger Room. So already off to a good start, and gonna, you know, kick off the anxiety immediately by putting Sunspot into the Danger Room. The reason I'm doing this is because if it lives, it'll put more pressure on my opponent, which it does. Okay, so Danger Room is there. Misty Knight gets drawn off Hell's Kitchen, and it looks like we're playing potentially a Kitty Pryde Elsa deck, maybe. So I'm going to just put Misty there. You know, I don't have enough. I'm not brave enough to put Misty into the Danger Room. I don't think I'm going to live it a second time. Okay, so there's the Angela, which makes me want to put the Cyclops. This might be my Hope Summers lane then. Okay, so we'll put Hope here. And then next turn Cyclops, and then turn 5 we can Hulk because of the extra energy from Hope. So Kitty comes down, buffs Angela. There, yep, there's the Elsa. Okay, so our opponent hasn't drawn their Hope Summers, you know, because I'm assuming it's a Hope Summers deck. And Magic is nice because we're gonna be able to bar Sinister, change that to Limbo, because I don't really know if I would. I think that I would appreciate it, this game going on a little bit longer to take a little extra energy. Maybe draw my Shenaut, or She-Hulk, excuse me. Keep blasting them with Cyclops. Okay. And do we turn off Danger Room here? No, we'll keep it around. We'll keep Danger Room here. I'll play Armor here. Yeah. Okay. Guessing that's Kitty, just keeping the bounce up. Crossbones. That was from Agent Coulson? Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we're down by 10 here, and assuming that we pass this turn, and we float energy on the last turn, so that means we're technically up by 4 with Cyclops. So 6. So we technically only need 6 here. Well, I mean, the thing is, I'm passing anyway. Okay. Loki. Okay. Interesting. Sorry, 5. It would be 14, and then 19, so 5. I think that we'll play Hulk here, because Hulk's actually better than Infinite here, and then we'll just play She-Hulk here. Should be good enough, I think. Because, okay, Hulk coming down, Kitty Pryde. Okay, yep, everything's strong when it's a Danger Room. No Danger Room triggers this game. Just, a nice, honest game of Marvel Snap with no Danger Room. I do like being able to see Crossbones in a game, even though it was random off of Agent Coulson. And, once again, just seeing the benefits of Hope Summers, nothing too crazy, really just a little bit of extra energy to get something out early every turn. And what I also like is being able to bank the energy to be able to use potentially on a later turn. Just a lot of new combos that she unlocks, being able to save extra energy for later turns, bank it into our units to make them stronger. Just really a helpful card for this deck.